everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, April 4, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have a reverse aging health call and all the rest tonight. Why are we dying off at such an alarming rate? Question that you may pose to yourself. Or maybe you haven't, but you will, and that is, how well do I know me? How well do you know you? We're not talking about judgment, okay? Or in this society or civilization, shortcomings and all that stuff. It's about how well do you know you? And what is your relationship with you? Oftentimes we don't even visit that. We don't even think about it because of the material physical world has our attention most of the time. Questions you ask yourself like, how do I love myself? How often do I love myself? And what does this love truly mean to me? And we all talk about awakening, right? And when we, like in this meditation, when you find a comfortable place and you have no outside distractions and you relax into your body and then you become as still as a statue and you focus on your breath rising and falling. This is where we let go of our ego. And see, when we let go of what the ego thinks it wants, and we drop deeper into our soul expanding truth of what we came here to experience, which is the bliss of pure being. And I'm sure we all come to the conclusion, not as a judgment, but as a knowing, that this life is a wild adventure for all of us. The joy of fully showing up as who and what we truly are. This is where the real spiritual path begins. Awakening is not about acquiring things or arranging circumstances. It's about discovering our deepest joy and devotion and living fully from that space. And when we live from the awakened heart, this universe recognizes or reorganizes itself around you in the most miraculous ways. And one of the most powerful questions that we can ask ourselves every morning is, what is the most exciting, fulfilling, heart-opening thing we could devote, that you could devote your life to right now? What is the most exciting, fulfilling, heart-opening thing that you could devote your life to right now? Now let this question echo through your heart. Do not try to solve it with your mind. In other words, leave the ego mind out of this. You're in heart-mindedness. Let it open up something deeper. And when you discover what truly turns your soul on, your life begins to magnetize a whole new reality. You remember why you incarnated. You remember what your presence here is really, truly about. Then take it a step deeper. Ask yourself this question. How am I holding back from that devotion? Where am I hesitating, pretending I have more time, or believing the lie that I'm not ready? You see, our soul is always ready. Always. The God source doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for your willingness and presence. It requires you to surrender. And when you begin to release even an ounce of your resistance, the creative fire that starts flowing through you becomes unstoppable. Can you sense how the path reveals itself the instant you say yes to taking the next step? Can you sense the infinite possibilities that are here? And if you do not yet see it clearly, ask yourself, do I really want to see it? Because wanting to see is enough. That simple desire to open is what parts the clouds and lets the light come pouring in. Now, this soul awakening inquiry has become part of some of our sacred morning rituals. So it's like every time you sit with this inquiry, something begins to stir. A playful, joyful essence rises. You begin to feel the electricity of life again, pulsing through your veins, whispering that something amazing is already on its way. And what excites you more than anything else right now? Awakening. Not the concept of it, but the raw, living experience of waking up from the dream of separation. We're all in this dream, the dream of separation. It's a huge dream because we're all in it. It's remembering that we are not these personalities, nor these bodies. We are the light that animates it all. The awareness behind it all. For some of us, awakening comes from the number of minutes we can hold our focus on the God source. This can only occur for an extended period of time when we allow our super-focused mind to completely surrender into this sacred presence. It's a sacred merging of attention and surrender. The deeper we drop in, the longer we hold our attention, the more we dissolve into the source. And from that state of union, something miraculous happens. We emerge as someone entirely new, not improved, not upgraded, but feeling deeply aligned, awake, and free. You may ask yourself, so what does awakening mean for me? I'm not interested in what you've been taught by others or what it's supposed to look like. But what does being awake actually feel like right now in your body, in your brain, in your being. And interestingly enough, your truth is pure medicine, and your realization may be the great fire that someone else has been waiting for. That's why you share it. You share it with others. Because it's kind of like we all carry primers or catalysts. Not necessarily, when we express it or share it, there are others that it ignites. And they open up to themselves because of that, because of what you said. And it may be that, I don't know, maybe you are aware that what you say is going to affect somebody in a really good way. And people are waiting for this medicine and this great fire. And we hold that fire and we express it to others, and it ignites their fire. You may say it to 20 people, it doesn't affect them. But you say it to the 21st being, and it truly, that's it. That's what they've been looking for. That's what they've been waiting for. When you do things from your soul, you feel a river moving in you, a joy, rooming. All of us eventually will discover that when we focus on anything deeply, we reveal the sacred essence within it. It can be anything. The breath, the silence, a sound, a flower, a mantra, or the radiant center of your own heart. And when we focus deeply on it, we begin to merge with it. Our awareness slips into its essence. And as we dissolve, something eternal wakes up in us. In that moment, there is no separation, no story, just presence and God. And from this state of divine intimacy, something truly beautiful unfolds. A new way of being is born within us. We feel more at ease, more open, relaxed, and radiant. And it feels so good to live from that God-source space. It's the secret for us in knowing what excites us and following it completely. Because what truly excites us is not random. It is the very compass of our soul. It is our direct line to the divine. When we follow that thread of excitement, we follow our way home. That river of life is eternally changing and flowing. The only question is whether we are willing to step into it and let it carry us, carry you. All it takes is one sincere intention, held with love in our heart, and one simple practice that opens the door. This is the beginning and the end. This is the way back to feeling divinity in the heart. And that is where your true power lives. So when you're feeling blocked, or truly knowing what excites you, here's a powerful way to drop into it. You feel, let's just say that you're in the head. Most of us are in the ego mind. And I've had this question asked many times. How do we move into the heart mind? Or how do we know that? Well, go down, let's say from your neck, okay, top of your neck, under the chin, all the way down. Take your finger, go all the way down till you come to the sternum. You know that bone plate there? Go about halfway in the sternum, and there it is. You take your finger and just lightly tap there. You'll feel it. That's the heart mind. That's where you enter the heart mind. And a physical perspective helps people identify with the heart mind. So you go into the neck, where the top of the neck starts. Go down. Take your finger, go all the way down. You go in between your chest, and then you'll come to the sternum and go about halfway down the sternum. And just lightly take your finger and just do a couple taps there. You'll feel it. You'll feel the heart mind. And by doing that, you are completely out of the ego mind. See, it's when we get distraught or upset, and sometimes we don't know that we're upset. We don't know it. It's deeper than, it's not superficial. There's something that stirs us, that we become, I don't know, I guess upset or emotionally distraught. We can feel it. We aren't quite sure what it is. Most of us will turn our backs on it because it's an unknown. Some of us, however, will say, okay, what do you need? And embrace it. And we come in and move into because we choose to. No one forces you. And we begin to embrace ourselves. Why wouldn't we? I mean, these bodies hold the most sacred essence and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond it forever. Why wouldn't we embrace it? How could we ever ignore it? It's the very existence of who and what we truly are. And I know that there's a lot of us that have been programmed, through generations, passing down of information from one to the next, where we believe in certain things and we do certain things. We're not, and it's just a matter that we do that because it's what we believe. It's not bad. Okay? It's not negative. It's just is what we believe. And so we begin to change because we shift. Let's just put it that way. We shift because we're curious and because we really do want to know really who and what we are. I believe all of us do, some more clear than others. But oftentimes people will come to a point in their lives where they will say to themselves or to others, who am I? What am I here for? What is all this about? Those are all good questions to ask oneself. They're not stupid or dumb or make-believe. And what we want to know. All of us want to know. People say, we hear all this talk at times about God. And God is within us. Kingdom of God is within us. The heaven. The true heaven. Not the matrix created heaven. And some of us are, kind of skittish and afraid of that because we've never really approached it with ourselves before. A lot have religious beliefs. They're neither good, bad, or indifferent. They're just what they are. But some of us have peeled back enough of the layers of deception and the illusions of separation to start actually figuring it out and saying, wait a minute, we're all one. We appear on this planet, we appear to be what? Well, because of these bodies, we appear to be separate. Everything appears to be separate, doesn't it? When you look with your eyes and you see, this is all separate. Everything's separate. What are you talking about? Separation is illusion. Everywhere I look, everything is separate. Trees are separate. What's interesting, if you look at there's a lot of trees on this planet that are considered, believe it or not, weeds. And they have a network, so they're all connected. So if you look at the aspen, it is connected. You very rarely will see one by itself. You'll see a whole section of them. And if you look underneath the soil, you will see that they are all connected. Their root systems and everything. Now, on the surface, it appears that they are what? Separate. I can touch this one. I can go over here, touch this one. I can touch that one. And they're all separate from each other. But when you move deeper within, you begin to realize that is the illusion. You, me, all of us, the gods in these bodies, are one. To have these bodies allows us to create the illusion of separation. But on this planet, most of us are in the illusion. Okay? We are not outside the illusion looking from the outside in and saying, I can see why we created this illusion so each of us could enter physical material form. Pieces of the God can enter physical material form and experience material physical life. It's quite unique. It really is. It is taken for granted a lot, but it's a very unique process. We enter these physical material forms so that we can experience physical material life. We can experience crying. We can experience love. We can experience hate. We can experience truth. We can experience lie. We can experience trust. We can experience insecurity. We can experience stress, anxiety, and we can go on and on and on. But we also know that it is temporary. Most of us don't focus on that until the body gets to a certain stage, right? And isn't it ironic that we begin to focus more on that than anything else? And for most of us, it basically encompasses us. It absorbs us. It fills us because the more the body goes through the stage of ending, the more we begin to focus on the ending. Isn't that something? But yet when the body is young, none of us are young. Okay, in the material sense. We're very, very ancient beings. Very ancient beings. And I guess you want to say old, or you just want to say highly enlightened through experiences that we create through our endless existence in different forms. We have the ability to do this, which is phenomenal. And we're always, as gods, we are divine perfection. So what we do is we step higher and higher and higher forms of divine perfection. We are the only true reality, real. We're the only thing that's real. Everything else is created around us so that we can experience in our entertainment. That's wild too. It's purely for our entertainment. We create as we go along. And we can choose to enjoy, or we can choose not to enjoy. Embrace everything. It may not be something you might say to yourself because of the physical material life, the ego mind. You have to be crazy for it. You're saying that you embrace that? What? That's crazy. Embrace my unhappiness? Embrace my depression? You're nuts. But when you embrace all parts of ourselves, you free yourself from the illusion. Because all of that is an illusion. And when you really, truly, you can say to yourself, so I'm going to embrace that. I'm going to give it a full body hug. Not a chest tap or a fist bump, but a full body hug. Totally release, totally be vulnerable, and embrace it. It's amazing what happens because it disappears. It's gone. See, we literally create our biggest hell and our highest heaven. We do that. Nobody else does it. We do. That's why you hear me say over and over again, it is all about you. And it just depends. Some of us choose, say, it's time for me to make this transition into awareness and to go within myself and to discover the God that I am through what? Silence. Through being. This is what we do in these meditations. Through being. That's it. You may have questions about this life. We all do at times. You take those questions, and in this state of meditation, you ask those questions. You don't have to verbalize them. You just ask them. And then you let it go. You will eventually get the answers, receive the answers, and embrace the answers. We meditate so the mind can become free. And when the mind becomes free, it no longer is. Because it's an illusion to begin with in the first place. And it creates the ego to assist it. Isn't that wild? And we create this all to do what? Well, to experience, to be entertained, because we're already divine perfection. Learn. Because all of us will eventually be able, at will, to plug in to the collective consciousness, which is all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. It's endless. All the knowledge, everything, is just waiting. Why? How can that be? Because you are part of it, and you'll never not be part of it. You will always be part of it. You've heard the statement, "I am one with God." Oh, how can that be? Because you are God. Every one of us, we've been taught that, you can't say, what are you saying that for? You know, God's up there, watching. When you pray, look up. And all along, the God is within us. And that's who we truly are. And it's got a lot of names. You know, divine source creation, prime creator, prime source, God, consciousness. And we could go on and on and on. It's a name, a label. And this is what we do. Omnipotently powerful supreme beings that never die. See, this explains how, you've got to be very powerful in order to be able to create all this, to be entertained and experienced. Yes. It's because we are. We're not little weaklings and robots and controlled things. We are omnipotently powerful supreme beings that never die. Manifesting machines while we're in these bodies. And that's not debatable. Ego mind will debate it till you're blue in the face. Because it sure as heck doesn't care to have you figure it out, to become fully aware of who and what you are, because then it will begin to fade. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in from the nose. And an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain relaxed into your body, still as a statue, focused on your breath rising and falling. The inner path of healing you is the only way to discover total freedom. Explore what it's like to choose to heal yourself everywhere you go and whomever you are with. Make the commitment to be with you today and find inner peace with what you cannot. This is your special sacred healing day. Wherever you go today, pretend that you are continuously merging with this loving energy and healing experience. Stay connected throughout the day by saying, I am whole, healed, and complete. Focus on receiving the most nourishing, peaceful, and healing energy you can possibly fathom. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here tonight, Friday, April 4, 2025. After 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our reverse aging health call and all the rest. We'll have a special guest on there tonight. We're going to talk about why so many of us on this planet are dying off way too quickly. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in. Be gentle, kind, generous, humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on within you or outside of you.